On today's episode, we recap Cubs Rockies, get into some news and notes and more. Start off your week with Locked On Cubs.
Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Cubs alongside Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. Pleased to be with you for a Monday episode as we kick off one of the last weeks of September here. Beautiful fall weather in the Chicago land area. We're going to recap all sorts of Cubs Rockies stuff and things. Get to some news and notes later, including on a certain Cubs shortstop, and also previewing and highlighting the High A affiliate making the World Series of the Midwest League. Sam, how is it going over there? And what exactly is on your shirt? Is that like a pizza shirt? What is that?
Yeah. Don't know what. It's just a Nike shirt.
Okay.
I like to wear orange days that the Bears play.
Right.
So that's why I'm wearing that. Apologize if that bothered anybody. I want to talk about a lot of things today. And the first thing I want to bring
that's
up,
why we're here.
The first thing I want to bring up regarding this series, but not specifically, is, I was watching Yan Gomes today have another big day. He's had a really nice month here. And I was wondering, and it kind of, I don't know if we've talked about this on the show before. I think we've hinted at it, but it hit me, Matt, that outside of Nico Hoerner and Seiya Suzuki, we have absolutely no idea who is going to be the starting lineup for the position players in the 2023 season. And let me just break it down for you for proof here. You cannot sit here and guarantee me and say this guy's going to be catcher next year. We have no idea. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree.
I should say no idea, but it's uncertain. Uncertain.
Gomes is the leader in the clubhouse, but
it's uncertain.
It's not 100%.
Yeah, it's uncertain. First base, Mervis is the leader of the clubhouse, but that's still a little uncertain, although I think that's pretty close.
Yeah. I think there's still a bit of a mystery, though. But yeah, I would hope that it's close, but I don't know.
Second base is up for grabs, and the middle infield's up for grabs. We know Hoerner's going to have one of those two spots. We don't know which. We don't know what's up with Madrigal. Third base is just a total guess at this point.
It's a big-time question mark.
I have no idea. Suzuki and right. Not accrued center, and Happ would obviously be the guy that would make sense at left field, but there's just a chance we know they dangled him at the deadline. Who knows what they do in the offseason? Have you ever heard of anything like that?
Well, no, but for a team that's rebuilding, retooling, it's not unusual, but yeah, it's definitely discouraging.
I wouldn't say it's discouraging. I wouldn't. I would just say it's really interesting. And that's why this offseason is just there's just so many balls in the air this offseason. It's going to be really interesting to see how it's played out. That occurred to me. And then the other thing that occurred to me that's more food for thought is what really upset me, and I knew this before the season, but now it's really dawned on me, how backloaded easy the Cubs schedule is. Do you see the rest of the series they have?
Yeah, they only play one team with a winning record. That's the Phillies next week.
When you're a retooling or rebuilding team, it's imperative that you get off to a really good start, right? That you have good vibes and the team has confidence. You don't want to have your schedule backloaded. The Cubs, and now the Cubs aren't going to be trying to win games anyway, but if this schedule was like this in May or June, man, they would have racked up a lot of wins. They play the Marlins, the Pirates. They just got done with the Rockies. I know they lost 2 out of 3, but again, they're running out Esteban Quirzos out there. Mm-hmm. They finished the year with 6 in a row against Cincinnati. Next year I like it. It's a much more balanced schedule. There's not as many early gauntlets. You could really get an idea, where you don't want to be like this. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. No, the schedule is very, on paper, is not a behemoth at all the last 16 games here.
Right.
A lot of opportunities for wins. Yeah, I'm starting to process what you're saying. I'm tracking with what you're throwing out there.
Yeah.
Because the starting lineup on Wednesday, October 5th could be just completely And I think it will be, I guess, now that you're kind of creating this discussion point,
Sure.
will not be like it is on Thursday, March 30th at all.
Yeah, and
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and that's not abnormal for a rebuild. Like
Right.
we read the thing, but when we read it from 14, there was a lot of guys injured and stuff. But like I guess
True.
in 14 to 15, I'm trying to go back and think of guys. So we had Rizzo, Castro were the two for sure ones, but was you know what? Now that
That was about it.
Soler, right?
Yeah.
Soler was there.
Yeah. Not an
Um,
everyday player though.
I think at that point though we thought he was going to be.
Yeah, true.
Um,
No, there was a lot of acquisitions. We should definitely do some digging on that.
Yeah, so then I mean they acquired Zobrist, they acquired Hayward, they acquired Montero,
Fowler.
they acquired Fowler. You know what I mean? There was just
They promoted Bryant, they promoted Contreras,
promoted Russell,
promoted Schwarber. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's there's a lot of balls in the air with this franchise.
Right. It's like a circus. It's a juggling act.
Yeah, I don't know. It just occurred to me. I'm seeing all these guys come up, and congratulations to Zach McKinstry, who since I wrote him off, looks like Rafael Palmeiro out there.
Yeah, he had a blistering week at the plate this week.
Best hitter on the ball club this week.
Yeah, Jan Gomes hitting 378 in September.
Man, yeah, that ball he hit today.
He should take a bow.
That was not a cheapie either.
No, it was not. It was not. I would be okay with him hitting ninth on March 30th.
Yeah, well, we've discussed that. We've discussed that. I think both of us are in agreement that we're okay with our 8-9 hitters being a defensive center fielder and a defensive catcher.
Right.
I think we've agreed on that, especially when you go out and get one of the big shortstops.
The Cubs started 7 rookies on Saturday and 6 on Sunday. Some that you might not even realize were in the organization. We had Jared Young get a start. We have Esteban Quiroz getting plate appearances. Nelson Velasquez is still on the team, which is nice to discover that. As Seiya Suzuki has a child, and congratulations to him. I think there's definitely going to be some weirdness, some oddness the last 16 games. I'm pretty excited about the pitching, which we're going to get to later in the show. But the offense is pretty putrid. Which of the let me just do some quick math here. Which of the 6 runs this series was your favorite? 3-1-2? I forget our number. 3-1-2-8-3-4-4-6-3-4.
Let me throw in a quick filibuster for you before we talk about the pitching this weekend, which was really fun.
What are we in the Senate?
Well, I didn't know you're gonna correct the number right away. I thought it might take a second.
Oh, okay.
All this talk with these rule changes, you know what I'm starting to get sick and tired of?
Right.
Every 120 game for the Cubs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, hitters not being able to see.
Yeah, the shadows are very strong.
Can we do something with the shadows? So
what are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Can we do something with the shadows? The great quote.
There's got to be. Can we throw a batter's eye or something in there where it's not impossible. It's not impossible to see the last 9. It's like, oh, we're down 1 in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. This game's over because we can't pick up the ball until it's in the glove.
Can we do something about the shadows? 3-1-2-8-3-4-4-6-3-4.
I'm a little tired of it.
Yeah, that's a classic comment.
All right.
What I'm not tired of is seeing Hayden Wesneski pitch. And we're going to hopefully see him a couple more times this year. And we're going to recap his outing on Saturday coming up next. Right now, we want to tell you about Bet Online.
Yes.
BetOnline.net is your number one source for all your pro and college football betting needs this season. Find all the latest football league developments, game matchups, news, and podcast, including this year's opening week games. Today was quite a football day in the NFL. BetOnline is also your continued source for all your sports wagering info, including live betting and more. The fastest and easiest way to check in all your favorite sports and events, including MLB, MMA, boxing, and golf. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action Bet Online, where the game starts.
Man, do I love Bet Online.
It's good stuff. Good
I'd
stuff.
love to bet the Bears tonight, but I just don't have I got to go brain over hard.
The Marlins are a favorite on Mondays.
Tell me
Monday
that
night's
pitching. Tell
matchup.
me that pitching matchup, and I'll tell you maybe exactly the favorite that they are.
It's Miley and Cabrera.
Oh, Cabrera's good. And that ball game's in Florida?
Yeah, great start times this week. Whew.
Is this going to be a 5:40 Central first
Yes, yes, it is.
I'm going to say the Marlins are minus 130.
The minus 140 I saw earlier.
Okay, that's fine. I can live with that.
And then just to round out the matchups, Sam.
I might take the Cubs in that ball game.
I know. It's going to be Sampson and Lopez.
Paulo Lopez, been hearing a little Cubs buzz about him.
Oh, in a trade.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tad bit of buzz.
Don't do me like that. You're going to get me excited here.
Tad bit of buzz.
And then we have a matchup of southpaws. I feel like Drew Smiley faces a lot of lefties. It's going to be Smiley and Luzardo.
Yeah, who dominated the Cubs at Wrigley Field earlier this season.
Right. So the Cubs will be at Marlins Park. Do they still have that eyesore in center?
I guess
so. I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out tomorrow because that'll be the only 3 games I watch at that park.
Let's bounce around a little bit.
It's not a baseball city.
But first, we're going to start with Hayden Wesneski. Sam,
man, what a sharp outing.
Pitched 7-3 hit, 1-run innings on Saturday.
Sharp.
0 walks, 7 strikeouts. He now has 18 strikeouts and a 2.30 ERA in his first 3 major league appearances. He located his fastball well. He had that sweeping slider going. He used the cutter and change for good measure. What did you like from his outing? That was a lot of fun.
I liked everything.
Yeah.
The fastball was commanded well. I think he got up to 94. That slider is his best pitch. It's the pitch he's most comfortable with. It's that organizational sweeping slider that we've talked about with Lindsey Crosby. His mound presence is phenomenal. Looks like he wants to be out there. Looks like he's confident and he cares. I know it's the Rockies away from Chorus, which is a pretty pathetic offense, but that's still a really good outing. And to be fair to him, almost every base runner he gave up yesterday, I think there was 3 or 4, was really cheap. And the run that he gave up was really cheap. So his outing, I believe, was 7 innings, 1 earned, 7 Ks or something like that. And it actually should have been 7 shutouts. So he was magnificent. Something to be really excited about for next year. I really believe, and you know, I'm sure we'll touch on Assad a little bit later, and this isn't an I told you so for me with Assad. I don't think he's in contention to be in the starting rotation at all next year. I think Hayden Wesneski is. I really do, depending on the moves they make, or maybe he comes in the middle of the year or something. But I like what I'm seeing from him. My only small concern with this Cubs plan is that so many pitchers feature the same weapons. You know, I don't want teams to start getting used to it. Like, you know, you went Wesneski and then you went to Alzolay, and it's really a very similar mixture.
Yeah.
But Stroman doesn't have that mixture. Hendricks doesn't have that mixture, which is why I still think even though Hendricks is, you know, we haven't seen or heard from him in a while, will be a part of next year's rotation. And, you know, then you mix in a lefty, whatever. Anyway.
Right. No, I think that's a great point because you want to diversify your pitching.
Yeah.
Obviously, Steele from the left side is organically a different look. But
right.
Yeah, I'm excited for Wesneski here because I think after the Assad start today, they're going to switch roles. I think Assad will be a multi-inning reliever the rest of the way, and I would guess that Wesneski would be a starter these last 16 games, which would be 2 or 3 more starts. Would be really nice to see that. You know, I have heard some buzz, as you even mentioned earlier, just about, you know, what about 2 additions to the pitching staff? Again, that makes it all the more exciting about the winter. And, you know, we're going to pull up a chair and nestle up to the fireplace or whatever we're going to do this winter, and hopefully have some big episodes when they add these players. But adding 2 major league starters would be very compelling. It would make the competition very healthy and slow. It would make the list a little bit shorter. But I think Wesneski is still on it. And so, I'd like to see him face the Phillies next week. Ideally, I'd like to see him. That's the only winning club that the Cubs face moving forward. But just good stuff from him. Assad is. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
also, too, like, I just want to make this a point. It's not easy to dominate bad big league teams either. Like, I don't want to insinuate,
that's true.
like you're going up against the Marlins. I know they're not good. Like big league hitters, for example, Jared Young today, who's a guy, not a lot of people outside the Cubs diehard fans know who he is. He put together an incredible at bat, was fouling off 99-mile-an-hour fastballs today and got rung up on a pitch 6 inches outside the zone. Point being, even the teams that aren't great, that don't have stars, it's hard to get out big league hitters. It's easier than it used to be, sure, because of how much better the pitching is and the launch angle and stuff, but big league hitters are still big league hitters. I mean, if you don't have your stuff and you're flipping up garbage up there, they're going to make you pay.
Yeah, and Assad was a walkathon at one point.
No, that was awful.
And you don't want to.
That was hard to watch today.
It was hard to watch. They gave the Rockies a 4 spot, and that was the game.
And he's just, the summary with him today is it's like a compound sentence. He doesn't have good enough stuff to be able to walk people. He just doesn't.
Right.
That's not a compound sentence at all. I don't know what I was saying there, but he doesn't have, like,
he entered the matrix there for 20 seconds.
Justin Steele can get away with walking a couple people. His command, Assad has to be sharp.
Also from Saturday, Adbert Alzolay, first major league outing since October 1, 2021.
Yeah.
He went 2 innings out of the pen. He could be a key contributor in 2023, don't you think?
I think, I don't want to short him because, there's a lot there. And you and I have discussed Alzolay ad nauseum off the air, just between us when we've watched games together and stuff. Felt like last year, every time we got together for a game, he was pitching.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think at the bare minimum, he could be a really nice reliever out of the bullpen, and just in situations where he faces a lot of righties. At some point, if he's going to progress as a major league pitcher, he's going to have to figure out how to get out lefties. I mean, the splits are insane. But, Michael Givens has carved out a really nice career getting out right-handed batters. You could have a nice career, and if you could just figure out some sort of neutralizer against lefties and just come in max effort 1 inning throwing 97, because he did touch 97 yesterday, I could even see him being a potential 8th inning guy for this team next year. I don't know.
I was actually going to go one step further.
Yeah, 9th inning.
Close.
Yeah, it's just the thing with closing is you have to be able to get out both sides of the plate.
Right. And
right now, I think guys last year slugged 590 off of him from the left side. He gave up that rocket to Blackman, who's a left-handed hitter. So there's room there. Again, it just adds on, and why people always say to me, Sam, what are you and Matt going to talk about on the show? The Cubs stink. It's like, we could pick any topic and talk. There's so much to talk about with this team. There's nothing,
especially if games still going on.
But there's just nothing set in stone. I mean, if you told me right now Alzolay's our opening day closer next year, I wouldn't be shocked.
Right, 100%.
If you told me Wesneski's our 4th starter, I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, there's a lot, and that's, David Ross is going to have to, put on his man pants.
Okay.
Start to manage.
Maybe he'll get those at Macy's or something.
Yeah, because there's a lot to manage with this team. This team could be good next year.
And finally, Marcus Stroman took a no-hitter into the 6th on Friday.
Yes.
Went 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 5 Ks.
And that's an important outing for him, because I talked about in the last show, he was really bad this year at Wrigley and phenomenal everywhere else. So it's nice to see him get one. I think he had a really good start when we were at Nick's birthday against Milwaukee. I think he went 8 at Wrigley. This was his 2nd best start at Wrigley, and it was nice to see. Nice to see him finish the year strong. Honestly, his ERA is pretty much where it always is. I think you and I would agree he left a little bit to be desired there early on in the season when the games mattered more, but Stroman's definitely going into 2023 feeling pretty good about himself, as he should.
So the Cubs have a game every day this week. They have 3 straight 540 Central tilts with the Marlins. Then they go to Pittsburgh, which is going to be 5:35 ball games.
Which you love. You love that. So we can get shows going early so you can go sleep. You could be sleepy by 9:15.
No, I haven't gone to bed at 9:15 since May.
Oh, I thought you were going to say since Teddy Roosevelt was
yeah. But we look forward to more baseball this week. Hey, coming up next, a lot of news and notes including some more Nico Hoerner discussion. Stay tuned. We're back here on Locked On Cubs, your first listen every day. Thanks for joining us for a Monday episode. Keegan Thompson pitched over the weekend for AAA Iowa. He might make 2 to 3 appearances down the stretch here. Nick Madrigal and Wilson Contreras worked out before Sunday's game. But right now, actually, if this was a football team, their status would probably be doubtful to return, both of those guys. And trending in a not so positive direction. Triceps news on Nico Hoerner was not good this weekend, Sam. And if Hoerner doesn't play this week, I wonder if he plays at all the rest of the way.
Yeah, and we've talked about it on the show. I think that I don't think it's the end of the world, but I do think it's not nothing. He is somebody that and that's why also, you see people out there say, well, why are the Cubs so connected to the 3 shortstops in free agency? They have holes at third. They have holes at blah. Well, shortstops can mostly play anywhere on the diamond anyway. And Nico Hoerner, who had this breakout season, has not proved that he could play a full 150, 155 game slate. Right. And so you want that insurance policy as well. And I love Nico Hoerner. He's my favorite Cub. I've made no secret about that. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to lie to our audience and say I don't have durability concerns about him. I mean, look at the games played. Now, this year was better. He had 2 injuries, and one of them was a fluke. I mean, he tripped over an umpire. But it's not nothing. That's all I'll say. It's not nothing.
And finally, the South Bend Cubs advanced to the Midwest League Championship Series. First game is Sunday night against the Lake County Captains, affiliate of the
They're going to win it all.
Cleveland Guardians. Game 2 is Tuesday, and Game 3, if necessary, is Wednesday. Listen to these 3 pitchers getting the starting nod for the Cubs. Cole Franklin, Sunday, today. Luis Devers, Tuesday, and then Porter Hodge, if necessary, on Wednesday.
Beautiful.
Excited for some of these prospects to be playing for a trophy.
Yeah, and just food for thought because, we have a lot of Chicago listeners on a scale 1 to 10 right now because the people are going to be listening to this after, obviously, the Bear-Packer result is in. What's your excitement level? Because I know you fairly well right now, and I know your cousin Nick, and you guys are both similar when it comes to the Bears. And I feel like you guys are kind of bouncing off the walls right now. So just give me a 10 being – right. You keep looking at the clock. You're shaking. You're so amped up. Give me a scale 1 to 10 how amped you are for tonight.
Yeah, I'm at an 8.7.
Yeah, I knew it. You're really amped up.
I'm highly caffeinated.
And God bless you for that. Should I get more caffeine? You think? I haven't had a caffeine. Let me tell you something. Coffee and regular Coke. I used to be addicted to Coca-Cola. Right. I haven't had like a caffeinated beverage. Well, I can't. I already used my presidential one in a long time.
Yeah. Well, no, I say you keep going strong with that if you think it's helping.
Yeah, I don't think it's helping anything.
Oh, well then let's dig back into it, baby.
I just did it because I didn't think it was good for me.
Right. No, a little bit's good for you here and there. I just totally made that up. But
well, you're a little bit much. I mean, I've seen you double fist 2 massive Cokes from McDonald's and put it down like it was, a fastball right down the middle at 88.
Wow. All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in.
One more thing.
Yes, please.
One more thing. Little teaser here.
Yeah. And
I haven't talked to you about this or spoken to you about this, but I'm going to say it anyway because, this is 35% my show. At some point this offseason, when we have a quiet week, Matthew Cozy will be debuting his magic tricks live on air.
Oh, that's right. You did tweet that this weekend. It
is one of the greatest. Seeing you in that element reminds me of seeing Roger Federer with a tennis racket. It's just so comfortable, and it makes me I want our audience, because our audience sees you as, Mr. Straight Man, let Sam do his thing, blah, blah, blah. And let me tell you, folks, there's a lot more to Matt than that. Get a card deck in his hand and you'll be blown away.
Let me review how that could look on camera and for a podcast audience that may be audio only. Maybe that's something we do like on a bonus show on YouTube or something.
Yeah, YouTube Live.
I think that would be really cool, actually.
Yeah, of course it would be.
Yeah, really cool. Really cool.
Go Bears.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for Locked On Cubs on YouTube and smash the like button on all your favorite Cubs content. Also, leave a comment. We've gotten a few more than usual, I would say, the last couple of shows. Always interesting looking at those. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Remember, drop us a text. Let's get some questions this week. A lot of early start times. We'll have some time for questions, I do believe. 312-834-4634. Thanks for making Locked On Cubs your first listen every day. For your second listen, how about Locked On MLB and Game to Game? You can check out those Locked On MLB shows wherever you get your pods. Fun Monday show. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy, and this is Locked On Cubs.